There we go. Oh, look at this terrible camera quality. Let me try and wipe that, see if that makes it any better at all. Okay. Sorry about the camera quality. It's not the best. I'm actually on my laptop, so it's not quite as good as my phone, I don't think. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm not sure how the mic is on this, so let me know if you can hear me, and I'll be very appreciative. Hopefully you can hear me. Just let me know in the chat there if you can. This is the first time. Oh, thank you, Ben. Loud and clear. Excellent. Well, that's good. If at any point you can't hear me, let me know and I can always move into the car. This is my first time wearing a jacket in a long time. It's actually mightily cold, so bear with me. I'll try and stay out here for as long as possible, but otherwise I'll move into the car. The laptop is resting. Let me move it. Here we go. Resting on my boot there. So actually, it's slightly better if we turn this way, isn't it? Yeah. Do I move the car around, or do I don't know. Let's stick with this for a second. Okay. Cool. Thank you guys for everyone telling me that they can hear me. It's me says, is this live at the garage? No, I'm live in a field in the middle of Surrey somewhere. So it's me says he recognises the location. Yeah, it's a place I come often to film my videos. Okay, so as you can see from the title of this live stream, I've titled it "You Choose My Next Daily." So what I did earlier is on my Instagram account, I put out a questions poll for you guys to suggest some cars that I should consider for my next daily. Also, my video that went live on YouTube yesterday was sort of asking the same question. So I've had tons of comments on there and I haven't had a chance to go through all of those. But yeah, today I really wanted to just reach out to you guys on Instagram and go through some of your suggestions. Of course, feel free during this live stream as well to comment anything you want. But yeah, so if you don't want to miss out, go and follow me on Instagram at itsjoelw, and you can partake in the next thing like this. Okay, cool. So some of you here now, we'll get started. I've got my phone here. That's why I'm doing it on the laptop, so I can go through on Instagram. So the first suggestion was from Matt. He said an Alpina B3 or D3. I'm not actually too sure what they are. That's terrible, isn't it? But maybe I'll look into it. Paul Jessuk said Focus RS. That's a car I've mentioned before on the channel, on the channel or on Instagram before, that I'd like to drive. I've never experienced one. I don't think it's really me, but like I said, I've heard tons of good things about them. So it's a car I definitely wouldn't write off and would like to try out. Similar to that, Alex Fleming said Ford Fiesta ST. Again, that fits into the same boat for me. It's not something I initially think, yeah, I want that, but it is a car, again, that I wouldn't dismiss. Only problem with those is that they're best in a manual, or they only come in a manual, and I'm really looking for an automatic as this daily car. I still plan on getting the V10 M6 at some point. And yeah, obviously that's not a manual either, but for my daily car, I want something comfortable, smooth, potentially automatic. Joel VDR has said Z4 Coupe. Again, same sort of thing. The problem with the Z4 Coupe, I think, is that I'm planning on keeping this Z4. So having a Z4 Coupe as well, I think there's just going to be too many similarities there. Not to say I think it would make a fantastic daily, but yeah, I think realistically I want something maybe a bit different. Mark II TTRS manual. Good shout. Again, automatic is really where I want to go, but looking at the TTSs and the TTRSs, there are some that sort of fit into the 20 grand category, I guess, and that does seem like a potentially good option. So something I would like to look at. Okay, let me look at some of the live chat comments here. Boxster S, Brian Franklin, love the Boxster S. I think in future, as and when I move on from the Z4, I would replace it with something like a Boxster S, because I always want a two-seater roadster in the garage. And yeah, I think a Boxster S would be great for that. Okay, let's move on then to some more of these. M140i or an M2 if I can afford it, not the competition. That's Aiden Flood on Instagram has said that. Interesting. The M140i is a car I do like. My good friend Luke, Hampshire Photo on YouTube, has got one. I've driven it. Really cool car, definitely the sort of thing I'm looking at. Whether or not I want to get the same car as a fellow YouTuber, that does come into it. Maybe not. M2, yes, big yes. But again, automatic. Would that be wrong to get a DCT M2 and not a manual? I'm not sure. On the other hand, the car that I've been looking at a lot today on Auto Trader is the M240i. So it's a 2 Series, not the M2, but the one down from it. Same engine as the M140i, but a little bit different and maybe a little bit quicker, a bit more sporty. And again, just make a brilliant daily. So M240i actually is a car that I didn't talk about in yesterday's video, but is a car that I'm thinking about. Audi S3, again, good suggestion. Never really an Audi fan, but the S3 is potentially something I could get behind, or even an RS3 if I went for an older one, although I'm not too sure about the interiors on the older ones. I don't think they're amazing. Another one on Instagram has said Boxster S. Again, I'll go back to what I just said. MGF, probably not. I don't think they make a great daily. M240i, someone has suggested here. Yeah, lots of modifications can be done to it, or a second gen C63 AMG. Both really good suggestions from Tom there on Instagram. And let's move on to some of your comments here. Jaguar XK. I would love a Jaguar XK, actually. I think that would be a very smooth daily, potentially just a little bit too expensive to run, especially if I do end up getting something like an M6 as well. Get yourself a hot hatch. Yeah, there's a lot of love for the hot hatches out there. And I think, although, you know, I'm not really a hot hatch fan, I think it would be a good sort of medium to move into, as, you know, if I have the Z4 as well, there's two big different cars there, and I think I can allow them both to be, you know, have their own place in my garage, so to speak. What else are we saying? The new Supra, that would be amazing. I wish I could afford one of those. I think they're still a little bit expensive at the moment. Reese said, what do I do for work other than YouTube? I work for a video production company full time. E92 M3, definitely a car I'd like to own at some point. I think, again, it's not going to be the daily. Maybe an E92 3 Series could be a daily because it's a bit cheaper to run. But if I've got an M6 as well, I think an M3, again, we're too similar there. Say I have the M6 for a bit, and then after that decide it's a bag of nails and I want something else, maybe that's when I get an M3 or a Z4 M Coupe, something like that. Okay, back onto Instagram. SQ5 from J300. I like that suggestion. I'm not completely adverse to like a mini SUV. I love the Range Rovers. I love the Porsche Macans. And the SQ5 actually is no exception. I think that would make a really good daily. 730D. That would make an excellent daily. I do still want to buy a project car as well as these other ones I'm talking about, which would most likely be like an old 745i or something like that. Ideally a long wheelbase. I think that would make a hilarious project car for YouTube. BMW 135i Coupe, really good shout there. Very good looking cars. Jaguar X-Type from the early 2000s. Very good cheap option. Again, probably more of a project car thing, I think. Back onto YouTube, Focus RS, Nick says, is a good shout. M240i all the way from Ant. Jaguar F-Type R from Larry, really good shout. I, again, really want an F-Type. I think if I got an F-Type, though, it would dull down the Z4 a little bit too much. Potentially, it'd be a bit too much of a step. Again, especially if I've got a sort of V10 in the collection as well. That would have to be the sort of fast car in the garage. A45 AMG, yeah, as per my video yesterday, that is probably still the top one I'm thinking of at the moment, is an A45 AMG. Alpha Quadrifoglio, really good shout. You can get something like a Giulietta. A Giulia, though, quad would be a bit too expensive. Christian Thomas, hello, buddy, how are you? Seat Leon Cupra, a couple of those. CLA 45. I like the CLA 45. That's a really good suggestion from Raymar. Okay, I'm going to move back onto Instagram down here. I've got my phone here, so I'm going through some of your Instagram suggestions as well. Someone said, join me and get a Megane RS250. I need to look into these cars a bit more because I'm not a French car fan, but again, not experienced these Megane RSs or Clio RSs, and I do like them a lot. M135i, really good shout. They're great cars. I think I'd feel tempted to push to an M140i if I went down that road. Someone said AMG GTR. I wish. I absolutely wish. Yeah, I can't afford to do that, I'm afraid. One day, if this channel keeps growing and you guys keep supporting it, who knows? S3 i30N. I think they only come in a manual though. The i30N, A45, 135i coupe, Audi A5. Really like those actually. They're good cars. My ears are getting really cold now. I might have to get in the car in a second. It's pretty chilly. A45 all day long. So there's a lot of people that like the A45 as an idea. I know there are other YouTubers that have had hot hatches, but you know, I still think it's my journey with the car really, and it'd be very different to anyone else, and I'd make it my own. What are you saying on here? New phone. Yes, David, I've got my new phone. It's exactly the same phone as I had before, but this one isn't broken. If you guys saw my video of my dad a couple of weeks ago, I managed to smash my phone in that video, which sucks. But a few days later, I got a replacement from Apple, and yeah, thankfully got a new phone. SLK, yeah, nice shout actually. I think again, sort of it's a roadster, isn't it? So it might be too similar to the Z4. Audi A5 Coupe is, yeah, they are nice actually, especially if you get a V8. But again, is that going to be a bit too expensive and silly to run? Bentley Continental GT, that would make an awesome daily, but again, expensive. TTS from High Peak Autos, really good shout. Cupra 290. Adam C has said Ariel Atom. If you're here, Adam, not sure that'll make the best daily, considering it's basically, well, it has got no roof, and your face gets pulled back every time you accelerate in it. Cool. I might jump in the car actually. I'm a little bit on the cold side, so just bear with me 1 second. Let's see if we can get a position in the car. Yeah, I'm literally holding my laptop out in the open here, so let's see if I can make this work at all. Maybe I get in the passenger side. There we go, in the Z4 now. Yeah, this is a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm warmer at least. So let me look at your comments here. Thank you guys so much for being here, by the way. I really appreciate it. It's cool to do these live streams every Sunday now and just chat with you guys directly, because, you know, YouTube comments and stuff, it's not an instantaneous exchange, but here you can comment and I can literally go back to you instantly and we can have a conversation. So that's really good. So my friend Cars and Breakfast Hampshire, he runs the Cars and Breakfast Hampshire meets. He's made a few suggestions. BMW M2, BMW M135i, we've talked about those. Bath 595. Now, when I worked with Sam, Seen Through Glass, he had his Bath 695 Beposto record edition at that time, which I had to go in a few times, and they are really cool. I love the Abarths actually, and I haven't dismissed it, although they're manual and I think I want to go down the automatic route. But the Abarth is a car that I would definitely consider. I think Mini JCW, don't have too much experience with those, but something I'd definitely investigate. But I think again we're talking manual with one of those, aren't we? A35 AMG. Now if I had a load of money, I think if money was no object, I would probably go A35 AMG just for the interior. They're so beautiful, but I think they're just a little bit of a stretch. They're over 30 grand now, and even on a finance deal, it's going to be a bit of a stretch, I think, at this stage, especially if I'm getting the M6 as well. And yeah, let me move to you guys here on YouTube live. Potentially, I'm going to go in the passenger seat of the car, actually, because I might be able to, yeah, bear with me. I'm going to move seats. This is going to be very clumsy. There you go. I'll be back with you in 1 second. Just going to make sure I've got the keys in the pocket so I don't get locked out. Okay, bear with me. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Try not to end the live stream. Okay. Look at this. We're on the Dutch now. Alrighty. That's better, isn't it? Nice and warm in here. Sorry, it's a little bit dark though, isn't it? Let's see if we can... it's not going to do anything, is it? Cool. 65 of you here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Okay, I'm going to move on to YouTube now and just chat with you guys here. So yeah, feel free, of course, to just go ahead in the live chat and comment anything anything you want to ask, really. But yeah, also on the topic of this next car. So I'll tell you what, let me give you a little bit of, because, you know, as highlighted by myself before and as highlighted in some of the YouTube comments on my video yesterday, you have obviously noticed that I have spoken about getting a new car for a while. You know, that is because my Z4 is my only car and I fancy a change. I fancy something else as well so that I can stop racking up the miles on this and use it for just more special occasions. So that's my intention. But I am now the reason I'm bringing this conversation up again is because I am now actually in a position to go ahead and start looking for another car. Obviously, with everything that's going on at the moment, it's not ideal in terms of doing test drives or whatever. But as and when the situation sort of improves, I'm going to speak to some garages, hopefully drive some cars and essentially get them to source the car that I decide to go for. So I'll bring you all along in the form of some proper videos for that. But it's really cool to have this conversation because you are suggesting stuff that is something that I might not have thought of. So cool. Let me go through your comments here. So Dan Allnat is here. Hey buddy, how are you? Dan is the owner of the black Z4M Roadster that I featured on the channel a couple of times. Very generously, he's allowed me to drive it for some videos on several occasions. So Dan, I hope you're well. M235i, yeah. Whether you're here earlier or not, I think M235i, M240i are definitely cars I'd like to drive, and you know, I think really good contender for this daily. The only reason I would say no is because it's a BMW, and I don't necessarily want to end up with 3 BMWs in my garage, because I'll have the Z4. I'm planning on getting an M6, and then I'll have a 2 Series as well. So that'd be 3 BMWs. And although there's nothing wrong with that, I love BMWs. You know, you only live once. I want to try out different manufacturers where I can. How about an old Trans Am? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Could you imagine? Mercedes C-Class. Yeah, that would be nice. VW Scirocco R. Never experienced one, actually. That would be an interesting car to try out. Audi TT RS, definitely something I'd like to have a go in. I think they're really cool. V8 Vantage Roadster, and Bentleys are cheap on Auto Trader. They are. They're very cheap to buy. I think to run, they're a bit more expensive. And a V8 Vantage would be something like I'd have instead of an M6. Because the M6, again, really cheap to buy, expensive to run. I couldn't have 2 of those sorts of cars, unfortunately. Do we think it's too early for car events or convoys to be back up and running? I think we're now on the turning point. I mean, it's very obviously lots of stuff has happened in the UK, at least over the past few weeks, not to mention all of these protests that are going on where people aren't socially distancing. But I think it looks like we're coming on the good side of this whole situation. But I think it's really important now more than ever that we carry on taking it seriously and adhering to government rules wherever we are, so that this progress continues. Because I think just as quickly as the progress comes, it could all go back to how it was before if people start taking advantage of the slightly easing restrictions. So I think soon, yes, we'll be able to do car meets. And in fact, I went down to a roundabout today where Adam C was filming like a flyby car meet. So he was just there on the roundabout and invited people to come drive by. So things like that are starting to happen now. And I think, yeah, we're probably on the good side of a bad situation potentially. Golf GTI, yeah, definitely a good suggestion. I wasn't a massive fan of the Golf R. Golf GTI, again, is a car that you sort of initially or instinctively think that has to be a manual. However, I think the DSG in those is good as well, so it would make a good auto as well. What else? R32, yeah, from Ron. Really good one, Ron. I was looking at those earlier, actually, because I thought about an R32. I didn't quite realise how old they are now. It's, you know, obviously they're Mark V Golfs. And they're not, I don't know, they're not super fast. I thought they were a little bit quicker than they were. But they are cool cars and they sound amazing, like you say. 370 or 350Z, really good shout. I was out with my friend earlier today who owns a 350Z, and I was chatting to him about getting a 370Z. And again, the manual thing comes into it, where that car's probably best as a manual, but I want an auto. And also, it is another two-seater sports car. So would that be too similar to my Z4? That's really my consideration there. But I love the 370Z actually, and I've always fancied one of those. Ever thought about getting a motorbike and using that for something different? I have thought about getting a motorbike. I've got zero experience on a motorbike, so it would be a whole process for me to learn that and do it. So at the moment, no, that's not something I'm going to do. But in the future, as and when I can, I would not be adverse to trying out motorbikes for sure. Type R's fantastic but too expensive. Yeah, I haven't tried one either actually. I'm not sure on the looks of them. If we're talking about the Civic Type R, but they're meant to be very capable cars and definitely something I wouldn't turn my nose up at. What else are we saying? Z4M Coupe car I'd definitely like to own in the future, but it would be like a second or third car. 12k budget, yeah, we're probably talking up to around 20k. I don't think any more than that. Total transparency, I don't have 20 grand in a bank account to buy a car outright with. I've got some savings for a deposit on a car, and I would then look to finance. So obviously it would all come down to residuals and, you know, what's the best option in terms of finance. But yeah, probably up to 20 grand. And, you know, I'm only in very early discussions, so might find out I can actually spend a little bit more or a bit less than that. So that's what I'm really entertaining at the moment, is anything around that sort of price mark. Okay, Roman suggested BMW M440i. Interestingly, I was looking at BMW M4s earlier. Older, high mileage ones of those are just over 20 grand now. So that is potentially a car I'd look at. Whether or not that is just like almost too good and too capable to be a daily, to the extent that it makes my Z4 feel really boring, I'm not too sure. But yeah, M440i could be that sort of good in between potentially. A Bath 595, yeah, I absolutely love those. I think again, it's a manual, so maybe not the right car for now. But I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no, because manuals are livable for sure. I mean, I've lived with this one for so long now. Focus RS, yeah, car again that I'd like to try out. Something I prejudice slightly as something not for me, but I haven't driven one. VW Phaeton, that would be a great. I always loved those actually when they came out. They were like super luxurious, very expensive, and now, yeah, they can be had for bargain prices. Matt Calver, I'm looking for something used. I don't think I mean, I would like to buy something new, but I think financially it's not the best way to go, especially when financing. Evo, yeah, that would be a really cool car, actually, wouldn't they? Probably just a bit expensive to run. Diesel, yeah, probably not a diesel. I want to go for something petrol. In fact, when I'm looking for these cars, I'm filtering petrol only. I'm not really a diesel fan, and the fuel saving isn't that too much of a concern for me, to be honest. A Bath 124 Spider, yeah, good shout. I like those cars. I was chatting to a Bath a little while back, and they said they'd give me one for like a week to, you know, use, but that never came to fruition. So maybe I need to get on their case again now, and do sort of a long test drive with one, because it's a car I really like, but again, probably not a car I'd like have as my daily, because it would be too similar to the Z4 being a two-seater roadster. M235i from Neil, yeah, we've said that's definitely one that's up there, that or an M240i. Porsche Cayman, yeah, big yes from me. It would have to be the 981 generation for me, and we might be talking a little bit too expensive. I would go Boxster, they're a bit cheaper, but again, is that too similar? Having two roadsters, is that too similar then to my Z4? So yeah. Anyway, what has everyone been up to? Feel like I need a little break from chatting about all these cars. I've been easing back into normal life. We're not there yet, but I've been able to go out and film sort of more normal videos. and I'm looking for more content ideas as well to shoot over the coming weeks. Lots of exciting stuff coming up actually, and I'd like to get back out there and do some features with some of your cars as soon as possible. Dan says he's been puppy training. That does sound exhausting. I would definitely like to get a dog at some point. Have you noticed the depreciation on the early Z4s, but the Z3s are going up in price? Yeah, Z4s are often cheaper than Z3s now. I think the Z3's become somewhat of a classic. It has been for a while, and I totally see why. Actually, they are, to look at least. They look classic, and there's something very quirky about them the Z4 doesn't quite have. Not yet, at least. Maybe in the coming of time that'll change slightly. But yeah, the Z3s are somewhat of a classic, and I think nicer, more desirable examples of them are now reflecting that in terms of their pricing. Roman's been tinkering with his Westfield. Very nice, very cool. Paul says, "Isn't it summer in the UK?" It is, Paul, but although I mean I can't say we've had amazing weather recently, but today has been one of the first days where it's rained most of the day, and it's actually, as you can see, I'm in my jacket and I'm now sitting in the car. It's quite chilly. It's probably like 13, 14 degrees Celsius, maybe a tad under 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So not very warm today, sadly, but I think hopefully the weather's going to improve a bit. Kirk has spent lockdown working on his Z4 Civic and wife's Freelander, small mods, etc. Very cool, very cool. Do you know what? I haven't filmed it all, well, any of it actually, but I've been doing some tinkering on my car. So the under tray, one of my under trays under the car, was hanging off and it was bent. So what I've done to fix it during lockdown is I've sort of bashed it back into, bent it sort of back straight. So it's how it should be. And then I've used sort of long cable ties, thick cable ties to secure it in place. I would show you, but I think it'd be a bit too tricky with this laptop and to get under the car and show you. So I've done that. I've also done like a mini service. I sort of changed the, well, I didn't change the oil. I topped up the oil, checked the coolant, topped that up, checked the brake fluid, gave the engine bay a bit of a clean. I changed the indicator light bulb myself, which I was very proud of myself for. And I've also gave my air filter a clean and I've ordered a new one. So I'll be fitting myself a new air filter, tightened up some of the sort of the clips, what are they called, butterfly clips, something like that, by my mass airflow sensor and DC valve. So yeah, I've been doing some bits and bobs. Other things on my list, I need to sort out this door. My driver's side door, the handle on the outside is completely broken, and also the aerial. That is something I need to sort as well. But yeah, cool to see you guys have been doing similar sort of bits and bobs. I spend my time in local area finding supercars on my daily walks. Very cool. I'm always looking out for them when I'm out and about. What about a Subaru WRX? Is that the hatchback one? Lots of people. I've seen a lot of suggestions for that actually. Not a car I've got any experience with, but definitely, yeah, something I'd be interested to look at. Do I shell my Z4? What does that mean? Does that mean like, do I put it under a cover or put it in the garage? No to both. I have thought about getting a cover actually. I almost bought one during lockdown because I was only driving the car once every week and a half and it was just collecting dust. But now I'm sort of driving the car every day again. It would seem a bit of a bore to put a cover on every night and take it off every morning. Mini Cooper S is pretty good. Yeah, I should try one. Apparently Ethan at Cars and Breakfast Hampshire is getting one. Yeah, I'd love to go for a drive in that and try it out. Recommend any good driving roads near the West Sussex area? I always get confused with which one West Sussex is, but obviously you've got Goodwood and Petworth and places like that nearby. Excuse me. Arundel Castle, the roads around there are fantastic. So we're spoiled for choice really. I've painted my brake calipers, strut bars, refreshed the badge and fitted the M Sport steering wheel. Very cool. On the Civics, repaired some damage where it got hit outside Tesco. Oh, that sucks. That's so annoying. It's really annoying when your car gets hit and then no one leaves a note. Yeah, that's cool though. That's cool. You've been doing a few bits and bobs. I'd love to know how to paint my calipers and like my strut bar. Actually, I think that'd be cool little home mod to do. Brett says enjoying the content at the moment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you all being here as well. It's really great to see like 50 of you just sitting here with me in my car having a chat. It's really fun. Although I feel like I'm actually breathing in a lot of carbon monoxide at this point, and I can't open the window. I'm probably about to pass out. So let me see if I can get. This is not very. Sorry, guys. This is very. There we go. Let's just crack that window a bit so I've got some air. Okay, and we're back. I'm just gonna have a quick drink of water as well, because talking for this long, you start to get quite a dry mouth. All right, so what else do we want to talk about then? What else do we want to talk about? You guys completely guide this live stream. Ask me questions on any subject. I'm happy to chat with you. In the meantime, would I wrap my Z4? Probably not. If I get this like a hot hatch or something, probably I'll wrap that. Z4, I think I like it how it is actually. I think it could do with a detail, and that's something I'd like to do actually as part of the Garage Time series when it's all sort of when we're out of this coronavirus world. So future plan videos. Good question. That's where I need your help. Obviously at the moment it's a bit trickier to come up with video ideas. My options are quite limited, so let me know what videos you want to see, and we'll keep this new daily conversation going, and as soon as I can we're going to start going on some test drives and get the ball rolling with it. Hopefully I'll have something by the winter. I definitely hope that I'll have something by the winter. And then the M6, I'm looking for one now, but I think I'll probably buy an M6 in the spring of next year, so that I've got it for the best period of the year should I want to get out of it fairly quickly. Favorite breed of dog? Oh, I don't know. I don't really know my dog breeds. I know that one my family's looking at now is like a spaniel. I've always loved Black Labrador and Golden Retrievers, and my friend's got some Newfoundlands and they're incredible. Finley says, enjoying the content, just wonder why there was a lighter in your car the other day. Do I smoke? I do smoke. I do, sadly. Yeah, not a habit I'm proud of. Something I started doing at college along with my friends, and I've not really snapped out of it. I have to say I'm not like sort of a 20. What is going on with this light? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not like a 20 a day smoker, but I do on occasion have a cigarette. But yeah, it's something I do want to stop actually. Well, I will stop because it's horrible. It's a horrible habit. Seeing as you have the Z, what about a decent SUV? I'm sorry about this. This is terrible, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, SUV. I love SUVs. I don't love SUVs, but I've always fancied an SUV, and I think an SUV would be a cool road to go down for a daily. What have you got? You've got Porsche Macan, maybe a little bit out of my price range, unless I'm getting a diesel, which I don't really want to do. Porsche Cayenne, an older one, bit ugly, probably quite expensive to run. Audi SQ5, someone suggested earlier, very good suggestion. I'm going to look at those after this live stream. What other sort of SUV things are there? Obviously Range Rover. I love the Range Rover Velar, but a bit too expensive. What else is there? BMW X5, slightly older, maybe 2012. Could get one of those. That would be a cool car, but it's a BMW. Don't want another BMW. Alfa Stelvio, that would be cool. Sure, there's a lot of others out there that I haven't just mentioned. What's your favourite car-related memory? Oh, do you know what? My favourite car-related memory is probably when I was working with Seen Through Glass, and we went. It was only a month after we'd been working with him. We went to Italy for there's an event that goes on called the Best of Italy Racing Festival every summer in Italy, although sadly not this year. And we went for sort of the press days beforehand to promote it. And the owner of the event, the guy called Enzo, took us to his lockup where there was a few cars that we were going to use for this promo. In there was a 599 GTO, a Maserati Monoposto based on a 4200 GT, but it was a one-seater roof-off conversion. and a Abarth 695, which had been converted into a Romeo Ferrari. So full carbon kit, up on power around 270, 280 brake, all through the front wheels. And yeah, we just got there. I didn't really know what was going on. And he was like, right, Sam, you take the Ferrari. Jonty, who is from Supercar Driver, who was there, you take the Maserati. And Joel, you take the Abarth. And I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, I'm driving this 50 grand full carbon Romeo Ferrari Abarth up this amazing 20-mile Italian mountain pass, following Sam in a Ferrari 599 GTO, with Jonty in convoy in a Maserati Monoposto. And yeah, I mean, that's probably the best motoring experience I have, best motoring memory I have, because the excitement of working with Seen Through Glass and just getting to drive a ridiculous car that I'd never have driven any other way. Also, when we took the 488 Ferrari 488 on the German Autobahn, did 190 miles an hour in it, that's got to be up there too. So yeah, sorry, long-winded answer, but they're probably my favourite car memories. Also, getting my Z4 really was a great memory for me. You could do some reviews of other people's cars on your channel. Yeah, definitely. That's what I like to do normally. I think the problem with that, so I can do that socially distance, but I would have to be in the car by myself without the owner, and finding owners that are happy to let you do that is not the easiest thing, and also sorting insurance for certain cars is not always possible. But yeah, I should do some research and reach out to you guys. If anyone's got a car, you're in the UK South area ideally, and you'd happily let me use your car for, well, not even a day, just a few hours. You'd let me go solo in it. I'd happily let you use my car whilst I was using yours. Get in touch via my email, ideally, if not on Instagram, and let me know if you'd be up for it. Because yeah, it'd be great to get some other cars on the channel, potentially some cars that I'd look at buying as well. Give an update on people you have reviewed cars for. Yeah, nice idea. I like that actually. Just get a truck. What made me buy my Z4 originally? I was looking at sort of sports cars, two-seater sports cars for around £5,000. There was things like the 350Z, Roadster, Z4, Boxster S, and just from research, the Z4 at the time was the best sort of sensible option. It was the best sort of all-rounded solution to my problem, and I went with the Z4, and I'm glad I did, because I've met so many of you fantastic people through it. So having said that, I've got everything I want to out of the Z4 now, and that's why I'm starting to look for another daily. And in the future, I will replace the Z4 for like a Boxster, maybe something a bit different, but that's not in the plans at the moment. I want to keep this and do a bit more with it actually before then. I'm getting really hungry actually. I might have to go soon. I'm genuinely sorry. I'm really famished. Sorry, that's just totally not relevant, but I'm getting very hungry. And McDonald's is open actually again now, so maybe I do that. I'm just gonna, sorry, I'm gonna see when McDonald's closes. All right, we're good. Sorry about that. I'm very excited now. I'm getting even more hungry by the second. Okay, let's, obviously you guys are firing away tons of suggestions. Very good, thank you. I've got a few to go off there. Raymond says, give my car a rev. Do I give the car a rev? I feel like I give the car a rev every time we do this. I can give the car a rev, right? I'll give the car a rev. Why not? Why not? The people have asked, the people shall receive. Just because you're all amazing. So what I'll do then is put my laptop by the exhaust. There we go. Putting my laptop on the floor. What an idiot. And I'll leave my phone here. Hang on. My phone is how the internet is working. Okay, everyone, I'm going to give the car a rev for you because you've asked so not. Oh, that is my laptop getting scratched. Right, be right back. Let's do it. go. I hope you enjoyed that. There we go. Right. Does sound good. I've just had it cleaned as well, actually. Don't know if you can see it. It's looking quite nice. Alrighty. This isn't going to end well. You know, I was thinking halfway through that you're going to end up getting a load of spray all over the screen here. Have I ever trapped my Z4? No. I would like to. Now that I've got the nice tyres on it, I would like to get some suspension on the car first, once I've got this new daily. Get it lowered a little bit. And then, yeah, I'd definitely like to track it. Probably at Goodwood. It's a track I know quite well, and a very fun track, actually, quite fast. Thank you, Roman. I appreciate that. I love the sound of this car. I mean, it just never fails to get compliments. And for a car that's of this value, and for a modification that was so cheap, it's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Supercar Spotter Hampshire. Cheers, Joel. Enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We'll stay on for a little bit longer. If you guys have got any questions at all, I'm going to answer anything you want. Yeah, no, guys, I enjoy these live streams. As you can see, it's I mean, what most people don't realise, who don't make YouTube videos, and something I didn't realise until, I bring it up all the time, but until I worked with Seen Through Glass, is that actually a lot of what you see in my final videos, it's not really me, and that might sound weird because, you know, you're seeing me now and there's a lot of similarities, but you are essentially playing a character when you're on camera. And, you know, I'm a lot more enthusiastic, and I'm doing it a little bit now, of course, because I'm projecting to you guys over the sound of my burbling exhaust. But yeah, in short, doing the videos, you don't really get this connection, and going live with you guys and literally just having a chat, you asking me to rev and me revving my car, it's great fun. I really enjoy it, and it's nice to see so many of the same faces in the chat, that I know you are my most loyal subscribers. So to all of you here, honestly, I really appreciate you being here, because I wouldn't do these if no one was watching. So it's fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you as well. Chewbacca has sent, thank you, Chewbacca. He sent £1.99. He said, towards your new car. Thank you so much. Thank you. And actually, all the money I earn from YouTube, be it limited, does go straight into savings for exactly that. And that's why now, over a fairly long period, I'm now in the position where I'm going to be able to do that. So thank you, honestly, so much. Every little helps. It really, really does, especially with what YouTube actually pays. So thank you so much, Chewbacca. Can't wait to see how your channel will keep growing. Thank you so much. Me too. And I think, you know, I'm very happy with how the channel's grown. But I've had the channel for a little over 2 years now. Done around 200 videos, and a lot of them have been with the Z4. And that's great, because I've got a super loyal audience who are all really invested, because lots of you are Z4 owners or interested in the car. So you're all really invested in the content, and that's really great and really rewarding. But I also think getting some new cars on the channel is going to help to benefit the channel in the long run as well. So yeah, thank you so much. Any thoughts on the Manhart Z4 with the M5 M6 V10 bolted in? Yeah, I've seen that. I think it's really cool. For me personally, I like the Z4 how it is. I like the fact it's not too fast, and I love the excuse me. I love the M6 having the V10 in it. So for me, I wouldn't do that. Excuse me, but yeah, really cool. I think very, very cool. Will your new car have cup holders? I bloody well hope so. If it's a daily, I bloody well hope so. And yeah, and I'm getting really excited as well, because the M6 is going to be a reality. Like I said a minute ago, it's probably something I'm going to look to buy early next year. So I've got it for the spring and the summer. But I'm getting very excited by looking at those at the moment as well. For me, it's got to have the full carbon fibre interior. Colour, I'm not so precious on. I would quite like an interesting colour interior. But more importantly, it's got to have all of those sort of fixes done to it, hopefully. But yeah, I'll update you on the M6 situation as and when there's more to update you on. I think the plan is to get this daily car first, settle into that, make sure I can afford it, and then see where we stand with getting the M6, because that's a car I would like to own and be able to afford to maintain. Let's convince him to get an M6 and splice that and the Z4. That's funny, actually. If I have an M6, I will also have the Z4, and then I could do a conversion, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. What I will. Okay, so look, I'll tell you my plan, and you would expect nothing less from me. You can see me getting excited about it, talking about it. The M6, my plan with that is to make it the loudest M6 in the world. Now, legally, I don't think I can remove the cats in this country, but I'll do everything I can to just make that car preposterous. I mean, even if I do a back box delete, it will sound stupid. So, yeah, God, I mean, the M6 I'll make happen as soon as I can. I think that will be a unbelievable car to have, and not really a car that many people feature too much on YouTube. So, yeah. Anyway, I am famished. I'm going to go to McDonald's and make the most of the fact they're open at the moment. And look at this, guys. Bit of nature for you. You can't really, the camera's not really picking that up. But it's a beautiful sunset going on behind me. But it does mean that it's going to get dark very shortly. So yeah, this has been very fun as always, guys. I hope do you enjoy these live streams? I mean, there's plenty of you still watching, so I'm sure you do. But let me know if you enjoy these live streams, and if you'd like, obviously, I'm going to try and do these every Sunday for the foreseeable future, while there's a bit less content. Although I am keeping to my 2 videos a week at the moment. And yeah, let me know as well suggestions for these live streams, because although we've got a good topic today, and that's been great, I'm always going to need some more topics for the future. Maybe there's a way of getting some of you here on my live streams with me. We could work that out potentially. But on that note, actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I do live streams on there quite recently. And on Instagram, it's very easy to just add you to my live streams, and I can chat to you literally live. And that's really fun. So make sure you go and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, but I'm sure most of you probably do. But yeah, head over there. Love the lives. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. Thanks for a great live. Look forward to the next one. Amazing. Thank you. Enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the Mercedes. Thank you. Yeah, we don't know if that's what I'm getting yet. Love the lives. Lives are good. Thank you. Maybe an It's Joel post-lockdown car meet too. Definitely. When it's safe and responsible to do so, that's something I would like to organise for you guys, as well as me, because it's a lot of fun. Cool. Okay, guys. Well, thank you, as always, for tuning in. I'll end it there. Like I said, I'm very hungry. Otherwise, I would have gone for a bit longer. Didn't really think of that. And yeah. It's great to see you all again, and video should be going live on Wednesday will be my next one, and then Saturday, and we'll be here in a week doing another live stream. So thank you. Roman, you have a good night too. Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone saying thank you. That's great. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump back in the Z4 now, go find a McDonald's and feed myself. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.